This talk segment, we're going to focus on the British Isles, which has always been a hotbed of mermaid activity. The first creature we're going to examine is from Ireland, called the Merrow. Now, the Merrow is essentially the Irish equivalent of the mysterious sea nymph or mermaid. The Merrow, according to legend, is an ancestor to human beings, a descendant of the seal people. The Merrow has a profound attachment to mortal men. And can enchant them very easily. They have webbed fingers and fishtails, and wear magical red caps that are covered with feathers. These caps endow the Merrow with the ability to dive to their undersea homes. These are charming and seductive creatures that are gentler than most mermaids. They often fall in love with human men, but can be very vengeful if crossed or betrayed. Now, according to legend, the Merrow are the daughters of sea kings that live beneath the waves, and they have the ability to announce the coming of storms. They're a very musical species of sea fairy. Merrow music is heard coming from the depths of the ocean. The notes float on the surface of the water, and they are sometimes seen dancing to their music on the shore or on the waves. This music announces the coming of a storm or tempest. Now, according to Irish legend, one of the Merrow morphed into a harp and became the embodiment of Ireland's musical essence. Of course, the harp, the Celtic harp, is their national instrument. Now, let's get a little bit into the male Merrow. They are deformed and unshapely, with green hair, red noses, and tiny eyes. And they normally stay underwater. Now, the ugliness of the male Merrow explains why the female of the species often prefers human lovers to their own kind. All right, let's get into the Silkie. This is also from Ireland, from the Orkney and Shetland regions. The Silkie are magical gray seal / crested seal beings that have the ability to take human shape when they come to dry land. They shed their seal skin. The Silkie often hides behind a rock, then comes ashore. Sometimes they make marriages with ordinary human males. They are usually forced into this relationship because the human male husband has hidden their silky seal skin, and they cannot return to the water without that skin. Now, according to legend, the Silkie are the descendants of fallen angels that were once driven out of heaven, or possibly they were once sinful humans living out the term of their purgation or purification as penance in the shape of seals. Now, let's get into the Rowan. The Rowan is also a seal being in the Gaelic tradition, who, like the Silkie, can throw off its seal skin and assume human shape. The Rowan has a sweet, loving nature. They're much more forgiving than their silky cousins. The Silkies often avenge the kidnapping or death of one of their own kind by raising storms, and, well, the Rowan is a much sweeter creature. All right, let's go to Scotland. The Nuckalevy. This is in the coastal regions of Scotland. The Nuckalevy is a nocturnal, lethal amphibian creature. It's male, with the head of a human, but a mouth that is several feet wide. The Nuckalevy's body rises like a horse's torso. It has a very centaur-like appearance. It has only one huge bloodshot eye, and it's noseless. It has a tail and mane with webbed feet. This is a unique creature that has no skin at all. Its internal organs are visible. It's translucent. The Nuckalevy has lethal, stinking breath that can wither a plant or kill a small animal. And it sometimes overpowers its victims with the stench of its breath. The Nuckalevy sometimes rapes mortal women, and its offspring transforms into a Nuckalevy when they reach puberty. The Nuckalevy can be harmed by the sign of the cross. This chases it away. It's allergic to steel and silver and sunlight. And the Nuckalevy cannot cross fresh water. It simply cannot tolerate or abide it. All right, let's get to the Kelpie. This is in Scotland. This is another water horse, male amphibian. The Kelpie is found in or near all moving water. It sometimes transforms. Essentially, it's a young, sleek, handsome horse that's either black, brown, or golden yellow that can shapeshift into human form as a handsome man. The Kelpie, when it has transformed into a human, can be very seductive. It's hard for women to resist. The only clue to the Kelpie's identity would be seagrass in his hair. They seek mortal maidens as victims. It howls and wails when a storm is due. The Kelpie's skin is like glue, and when it's in its horse shape, entices women onto its back, then gallops away. The female victim is stuck and then takes a final ride. The Kelpie plunges into the depths of the river/lake, slaps its tail hard against the surface, making a thunderous banging noise or sound, then disappears underwater. It will tear its female victim to pieces and then devour it. It also likes children as victims. It finds them very, very tasty. The Kelpie can lengthen its body to make room for as many as 20 kids at a time. Now, the Kelpie can be caught trapped with a bridle that's engraved or adorned with the sign of the cross. Then the Kelpie can be used like a workhorse. The Kelpie has great stamina. It's tireless. It works like a demon. But at the end of each day, it must devour a human being. There's no way to stop its eating habits. All right? The Kelpie is allergic to still water. Puddles, rain, even tap water or bottled water can be used against the Kelpie, but it must have no fizz or carbonation. Now, this still water is the only way to stop the creature in its tracks. All right, now let's go to Germany.